Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is the new and improved G-3 Gundam. I believe they upped the beam rifle damage a little bit compared to what it used to be, but the more important thing is that it now has a dodge roll. As you've seen from previous videos I've done, and especially ones from Angel of Death 20, aka Always Sonic, it was perfectly possible to do great things with the G3 before it had a dodge roll, but given that the RX-78-3 Gundam has a dodge roll, it's kind of silly that this doesn't. So, and, I mean, I'm not going to say no to having it. It's always better to have more defensive options than not, so, yeah, it's one of those things where it wasn't really a bad mobile suit in my opinion, especially after the previous beam rifle output increase. It's just that it's a very difficult one to use. Maneuver armor is hard to use well, and it requires a lot of careful reading of your enemy's movements to get it right. So, and that is hard. So yeah, having a dodge roll is a very handy thing. But the G3 pretty much is the has all the options you would have seen on the Gundam at Baoku. Double hyper bazookas, beam rifles, backup. Really, really quite strong. And again, maneuver armor and forced injectors, so it's pretty zippy, good at misdirection, things like that. But yeah, and pretty good melee, of course. Trying to get out of the way of something, but there's like 3 things behind me. That would have been a great place for the dodge roll. As it is, I didn't get focused quite to death, so that's something. That is G-line light armor. That's a good thing for me to be shooting. I am even against that at least, so. But let's see. I really should have gone and backed up the 1-on-1 there instead of going to the 3-on-2 here. But I'm not gonna. It's not gonna hurt anything. But that 1-on-1, maybe that person could have used my help. They're kind of all melding into one fight here, though. So there's another kill. This is an ace match, so if I get the most points before the 3-minute mark, I will be the ace. And I don't mind being the ace most of the time. Occasionally I just have that moment of how am I the ace? I was playing terribly, and that's always scary because that means that even if you think you were playing terribly, you were still maybe doing better than everybody else, or at least scoring more kills. And that's always like I said before, I think a please don't let the ball come to me moment, if you ever saw that episode of Tiny Toon Adventures. But I like that show. But yeah, I believe that a heavy Gundam? I think it is because I saw a visor. So I have type advantage on that, did a lot of really good damage to it, and now I'm just waiting for the iframes to drop, so it will. If they did, it did. Next target. Hyper bazookas are finally unloaded, so I have to rely on my beam rifle and sabers until they come back online. And so that's why I'm hiding behind the scaffolding, because I need to charge that and get a clean shot. Also, again, sometimes I find it better to just head forward than back when you're trying to get away, especially when you're just that surrounded. And I'm almost dead. I am going to die. It's not, on the off chance I am the ace, it is not a bad time to die. There's about 4.5 minutes left. That's a good time frame. But I'm actually, thanks to the dodge roll in a large part, doing a pretty good job of keeping myself alive here. And pretty good damage. I think that's the heavy Gundam again. And yeah, time for me to be running away. Reminder, of course, you probably know this or remember this, but the G3's ammo counter is it fires 2 rounds every time it fires, so you get basically 10 pulls of the trigger is what it comes down to. And just trying to get the Vulcan kill before I get off. Did it, and yeah, they hit me about twice and I died. And this is actually, again, on the chance I'm going to be an ace, which I'd say is pretty solid. This is an even better time to die. So, let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure one of the reasons I saved this is that I believe I am the ace. You've probably noticed that my G3 is painted in RX-78-3 colors. And the opposing ace is going to be an RX-78-3 Gundam in G3 colors. So that just kind of amused me, and it's one of the reasons I decided to keep this. I'm also not doing badly, though. I do choke a little bit as ace, as I recall. I kind of don't quite do as well as ace as I did previously. Trying to give it another couple seconds, because if I can kill that guy after the buzzer, I became an ace. Taking a few hits, not too many. That's a Vish Donahue goof. That's dangerous. It does have type advantage. It has a bazooka and a good downswing. It's not anything I want to get too close on. Really would like to kill that guy, though, if I get a chance. There's that G-Line light again, which missed me with its downswing. And that's not the opposing ace, but that's another RX-78 in G3 colors. You can, and okay, yeah, I got the RX-78's screwed up there. It's the G3 one is not the ace. The ace is a standard colored Gundam with a Gundam hammer, which again, actually very, very dangerous to me, because it has type advantage, and the Gundam hammer, of course, hits ridiculously hard if you can line up that downswing. It's very hard to do, but if you can do it, and since that person got far enough to be the ace, odds are good they can do it, so I need to watch out. As always, I'm kind of hanging back, which again is the ace. As the ace, part of your team's responsibility is to keep you alive, but it's also part of your responsibility to keep you alive, which is kind of difficult as a raid, because as a raid you tend to have that impulse to just go in. That's one of the places where the G3 is an excellent ranged raid, because you do have that impulse to go in, but you have so many offensive options if you decide not to. Because I've got this nice beam rifle, which does pretty good damage. I've got the hyper bazookas, which do even better damage, and tend to stun pretty well. Did not get the G-Line light stunned, and he hit me with a beam shot, so I am very near death. I got to be careful here. We can probably still win it if I die, but rather not for a while if I can help it. I cannot help it. Okay, that I never saw that just shield punch. I think that's a G-Line full custom, or no, I bet it's the gun cannon heavy D in camo colors. But yeah, we're kind of spread out. There's a minute left. We do have the lead. They killed the enemy ace about the time the enemy team killed me, so no real harm nor foul there. And I'm going to come up here because there's more of my teammates up there, and basically we need to kind of concentrate ourselves. Also, there's somebody here that's nearly dead, and I can finish them off for more points for us. And that was the G3 colored RX-78 once again. Or maybe it's a standard G3, but I don't think it is. And that person's about to die. Beams. Yep. Yeah, so we now have a 5,000 point lead, and now it's a good time for me to be running away a little bit. Not super far enough back that I can land a few shots and keep the enemy pinned down if they come at me, but yeah, the part of the object here is to just keep yourself alive, like I said. And if you can do that, it's the ace. If you can keep yourself alive and score a few choice kills, you've got a good round going. And luckily, this was a pretty good round. Didn't want to go knock down on my teammate in case somebody could follow up, so just let that G-Line light live. We won anyway, and it was a pretty solid round, I would say. So yeah. That is the new and improved G3 Gundam. I think you will like it. I forget whether it's one of the ones that just went to 600 points, but I would not mind getting one if it did. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We will be back soon with more, so till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later! Some of the things I do know just went to 600 points are the early production Gelgug, the Gundam, and the Zeong. And I really want that Gelgug and its level 5 accessories. If I can get a level 5 beam rifle to take into a mix-up room on a level 1 350 point Gelgug, that could be a lot of fun.